A Sunday at an iconic circuit. Imola, of course, has produced many great races down the years, and if the sprint session from Saturday is anything to go by, Sunday's race could be an absolute barnstormer. But before we get to all the action on track today, let's dive into some of the news and the fallout from the last 24 hours in the world of Formula One. I'm Ollie Wilson, this is GPFans Global. You should hit subscribe to stay with us for the whole of the F1 season, but here are the headlines going in to this weekend's race at Imola. Lewis Hamilton has admitted that Mercedes won't be fighting for a title this season as the British driver's torrid weekend at the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix continued in the sprint race on Saturday. Hamilton could only finish 14th in a Saturday filled with excitement on the tarmac of the iconic Imola circuit, and when asked about the team's performance and any takeaways the seven-time world champion had after the Friday and Saturday sessions, he was a little tetchy in his answers, saying rather bluntly to Sky Sports F1, "We are obviously not fighting for the championship." Shortly after the British driver's comment, his team principal Toto Wolff had to agree with his driver, adding that any thoughts of a championship were unrealistic for the Silver Arrows, despite being third in the Constructors' Championship. Mercedes failed to have a driver in Q3 of qualifying this weekend for the first time since the Japanese Grand Prix in 2012, and although the tricky conditions in Imola on Friday were perhaps one reason for the team's struggles, the more glaring fact is that Mercedes don't have a car that can be competitive at the top of Formula One at the moment, with Wolff standing aligned with his driver's comments saying, "We are 4 races in and probably today marks the low of these first 4 races, and it is obvious that we are not anywhere near the fight at the front. And it would be pretty unrealistic to have a slot among the front runners who are fighting for the championship." So who is the third best team behind Red Bull and Ferrari on the grid? Well, according to Lando Norris, it's McLaren, as the young British driver opened up about the turnaround the team have had at the start of the new Formula One season. He and teammate Danny Ricciardo will line up 5th and 6th for Sunday's race at Imola, something which may have seemed a little unrealistic as a target for the team after their early struggles, particularly in Bahrain in the opening race of the season. The switch in fortunes, according to Norris, is due to the team and the drivers understanding their car a little better, seeing Bahrain's troubles as a reality at the time but more of an outlier in terms of the team's prospects for the season. "We've worked on the weaknesses and we've made some improvements," said Norris. "There are a lot of positives from it, but I think we are comfortably third, I would say." With the McLaren snapped up in the sprint race by the charging duo of Sergio Perez and Carlos Sainz in the Red Bull and Ferrari respectively on Saturday, it looks like the team are off the pace of the leading constructors, but perhaps they are now at the top of the pile in that best of the rest category. Just finally, Zhou Guanyu will start Sunday's race from the pit lane at the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix after breaking Parc Fermé rules to repair the damage done to his Alfa Romeo after a tussle with Pierre Gasly that sent him into the wall of the circuit at the sprint race on Saturday at Imola. The Chinese driver was already starting at the back of the grid, but now has to start off the grid from the pit lane for the race that you can follow along with on gpfans.com with our live blog and across our social media platforms as well at GPFans Global, and hit subscribe while you're here to stay up to date with everything going on in the world of Formula One this season.